Systems Wise podcast.
Hello there and welcome to this show. This is Systems Wise, the show about helping small businesses with the most limited resources to solve those sales, marketing and systems challenges that you'd normally need to be a much bigger business to solve. Every week I try to answer a question about how can we, as small business owners, use better strategies, automation and systems to make the very most of what our businesses can achieve. I'm Gareth Everson, and on today's episode, I'm going to be exploring a little bit further what the background to my forthcoming book, The Lemonade Plan, is all about, why I've written it, and some of the context around what you can expect when you read it when it comes out in the next month. So if you've listened to last week's episode, the reason I've written Lemonade Plan, the book, is to pull into one place a book that should be readable within sort of a couple of hours, 2-3 hours of your time. It pulls into one place many of the stories and experiences and guidance that I've learned in the last, 12 or 13 years and something like 400 client implementations working with small businesses like yours. And this lemonade methodology that I've come to term it over the last few years, which goes from the first L being leads all the way through to the final E of endorsements, getting reviews, referrals, and repeat sales. It's all about systemizing those 8 key processes in your business so that you can achieve more sustainable profits and, importantly, as well as the financial benefits of profit, also be able to get reviews systematically in your business, because without one, there isn't the other. If we can't run a profitable business, we don't stay in business. And if we're not getting the recognition that our efforts and our quality deserves, then it's unlikely that that cycle of being able to continue to grow that business will continue. So it starts with that premise that every small business needs those 2 things to survive. The book describes a journey of 4 business owners and takes you through their story of systemizing their business so that they can achieve predictable profits and getting reviews in a systematic basis. And there are 4 businesses that are very similar to yours or mine, and you'll be able to draw from their examples different ways that you might be able to achieve improvement in these 8 processes in your own business. There's Sarah, who's a business coach and faces some of the challenges that many experts who are guides to their own clients face in their own business. The whole cobbler's children's shoes challenge. They're great at being able to guide their clients, but when it comes to their own business and operations, sometimes some of those processes and systems are lacking. Then there's Michael, who's a physiotherapist, and his challenge is very much around, he's a great expert in physiotherapy and his patients absolutely love the results that they get from him. But when it comes to being able to run his business in a more automated way so that he can remove himself a little bit more from the day-to-day admin, either so that he can concentrate on working with more patients or work on building the business further, he faces those challenges around how do I make my business operations more scalable to remove me from that equation. Then we've got another business owner called James, who's a heating engineer. And his challenge is in this B2C setting of working with clients in their own homes and delivering really quite a complex and sometimes quite different solution to them. How can he go about making sure that the quality of his quotes and the work that he delivers is scalable across not only his operations, but his growing teams one? He's a multi-van business. And so those challenges that any scaling small business faces, James is going through some of those challenges himself. And what James realizes on his journey is that some of the things that he's doing are great and other ones aren't so good, and where his competitors have a bit of a lead in the market on what he's doing. Then finally, we've got Emma. And Emma is a virtual assistant. And as you'll appreciate, if you've ever worked with a virtual assistant, they're great at taking on some of the tasks and challenges that the businesses that they work with face, but sometimes aren't always that good at being able to standardize some of those processes across those clients. And so that's Emma's big challenge that she confronts as part of this story. Now, you don't have to be a business coach, a physio, a heating engineer, or a VA to be able to translate these stories into your own world. The book is written in very much a way that it's engaging and interesting to see how they counter those challenges, but is also framed in such a way that you can start to take some of those questions and those challenges that they overcome and start to think about them in your own business. And at the end of every chapter, we've almost got a playbook style section where you can make your own notes and digest your own thoughts and put those into play for your own business. So overall, this is a book that condenses my 13 years of experience of helping clients with their process and systems challenges into a easy to consume guidebook, if you like, that helps more businesses to think about those challenges that they face in their own worlds. The reason I came up with the Lemonade methodology and framework in the first place was because over those years of helping clients one-to-one, I'd seen stories and examples of where my own clients had got certain things working really well, but had gaps and patches in between those different process steps, those what should be interconnected process steps, that meant that they weren't getting that great final outcome at the end of it. That either what they were delivering for their clients was unprofitable or unsustainable or wouldn't achieve a level of growth, or when they got to the end of those client or patient relationships, they weren't quite getting the positive feedback that they would expect from their efforts. And so these little cliff drop moments across those 8 process steps were being missed. And it's addressing those cliff drops and making sure that all 8 customer journey steps are joined together and interconnected, that the whole concept of Lemonade came into being. So if you face this challenge of feeling like your delivery model feels a little bit unsustainable, or it's not achieving the kind of profit growth that you think it might do, or if at the end of that relationship that you're having with your clients or customers or patients, you're not getting reviews being left or referrals coming your way automatically, then there's probably something for you to take away from the Lemonade Plan book. On today's episode, I want to just talk through one of the key themes that flows through the Lemonade Plan book. And it's this misalignment of expectations that new visitors or new people who discover your business encounter when they first meet you. And this is a concept that I've talked about on the podcast before. And it's about understanding what stage in the buyer's journey somebody is at when they discover you, or when they are exploring more of your content and more of what you share on your website or on socials or in your emails. And I call this tofu, mofu, and bofu. And if you're a regular listener to the podcast, you'll probably be rolling your eyes and thinking, oh dear, he's talking about this all over again. But it's a really important topic. Most businesses, most service-based businesses, where you're paid for your expertise, face this curse of expertise problem, that when somebody discovers us, we almost have this half expectation that they know what they're looking for and they know how to buy, and all that we need to do with them is transact that sales discussion with them, and they're going to buy from us. When in actual fact, most people that are researching how to solve a problem that they've got, actually, if they're in buying mode, they're probably only in a small percentage. And the statistics that are shared online is that only 2% of people that discover you are currently in buying mode. And so if you position all of your content around getting somebody to book a sales appointment with you or buy from you even, you're probably forgetting the other 98% of the market that is out there. People who are in research mode, so top of funnel, they're looking for more insights into the problems that they have. Or if they're middle of funnel and they are fully aware of those problems and what causes those problems, but they're in sort of research mode for a solution to that. If your content and if your marketing doesn't address those two stages of the buyer's journey, then you're probably missing out on a whole chunk of prospective clients or patients or customers somewhere down the line. And most expert businesses that sell anything of real value, generally speaking, miss the opportunity to nurture that interest further by not addressing people who are at the top of the funnel or the middle of the funnel in their buyer's journey. So there are untapped riches to be made in having great follow-up marketing. And one of the key concepts of this journey that our 4 business owners in the Lemonade Plan book go on is about discovering where the gaps are in their business and how they can market to these prospective buyers more effectively. Next week, I'm going to take you through one of the other key concepts of Lemonade Plan, and that is about having a system for success. And in that episode, I'm going to guide you through one of the big failings of expert businesses when it comes to thinking about their marketing and sales strategy for their business. And I'm going to address one of the huge failings that exists in the small business coaching market. In the meantime, thanks for listening to this episode of the Systems Wise podcast. Remember that what we learn today builds more value if there's a plan to take action on it tomorrow. So head to getsystemswise.com/EP47 to get the resources for this episode. And while you're there, there's other training on the website around the software and systems that you might need to build a business that is a lot more manageable and a lot more focused on those two outcomes, predictable profits and being able to gather reviews in a systemized way that help you to share the positive message around what you're doing in your business. And if you value the show, please help others to discover it too by leaving a review wherever you're listening to this podcast or wherever you're watching this online. I'll see you next time.
The Systems Wise Podcast.